In the sprawling metropolis of Viridia, a shadow loomed over every street, every garage, every driveway. They called him the Ghost. Not because he was a spirit, but because he moved like one. One moment your prize vehicle was securely parked. The next, it was gone, vanished without a trace. No broken glass, no tripped alarms, just an empty space and a chilling sense of violation. For months, the Ghost had been the city's phantom menace. He didn't just steal cars. He stole a sense of security. The city's elite, with their high-end sports cars and luxury sedans, were his primary targets. A vintage crimson convertible, a brand-new electric supercar, a custom-built armored SUV. One by one, they disappeared. The Viridia Police Department was stumped, facing mounting pressure from the public and the city's influential figures. The Ghost left no fingerprints, no witnesses, no clues. It was as if the cars themselves simply decided to drive away. The media had a field day. Headlines screamed, "Ghost strikes again!" And as any car save in Viridia, news channels ran nightly segments, interviewing frustrated owners and bewildered police chiefs. The fear was palpable. People started using multiple steering locks, wheel clamps, and even chaining their cars to lampposts, but it was no use. The Ghost was always one step ahead, his methods a complete mystery. He became a legend, a boogeyman for car owners. The city was on edge, and the police department's reputation was in tatters. Desperate, the mayor and the police commissioner made a call. They needed someone who didn't play by the usual rules, someone who could think like a phantom. They needed Detective Miles Corbin. Corbin wasn't your typical detective. He was a quiet, observant man with a reputation for solving the unsolvable. He often worked alone, preferring the company of cold case files and intricate puzzles to office chatter. When he arrived in Viridia, he didn't head to the police headquarters. Instead, he went to a small, quiet cafe. It's in the city center. For 2 days, he just sat there, drinking black coffee, watching the city breathe, listening to the whispers of its people. Corbin began by reviewing every single case file. He mapped out the locations of the thefts, the times, the types of cars. At first glance, it was random. A theft in the wealthy northern district one night, a hit in the bustling southern commercial area the next. The cars were all Hivalia, but their makes and models were diverse. Most detectives had focused on the how. How did he bypass the most advanced security systems in the world? But Corbin was more interested in the why and the who. He noticed a pattern no one else had. It wasn't in the location or the time, but in the cars themselves. Each stolen vehicle had recently been serviced at one of 3 exclusive, high-end auto shops in Viridia. It was a long shot, but it was the only thread he had. He decided to pay a visit to the first one. Precision Motors, posing as a wealthy car enthusiast, looking for custom work. The owner was slick, professional, and gave nothing away. The second shop, Iliata Works, was the same. Everything seemed perfectly legitimate. His last stop was Apex Performance, a state-of-the-art facility known for its work on exotic cars. He met the owner, a charismatic man named Julian Croft. Croft was a genius with engines, a celebrated figure in the local car scene. He gave Corbin a tour of his impressive workshop, showing off the high-tech diagnostic tools and pristine service bays. Corbin chatted with him, complimenting his work, but his eyes were scanning everything. He noticed a small, almost insignificant detail, a set of highly specialized electronic lock-picking tools, partially hidden under a rag on a back workbench. They weren't illegal, but they were the kind of tools a master locksmith or a master car thief would use. Corbin knew he couldn't act on suspicion alone. He needed proof. He decided to set a trap. He worked with the mayor to procure a one-of-a-kind concept car, the Viridian Blade, a vehicle valued at over $10 million. It was equipped with the most advanced anti-theft technology imaginable. The mayor, playing his part, announced in a major press conference that the Blade would be on display at the City Museum for 1 week. He also mentioned, very casually, that it had just received a final tune-up at Apex Performance. The bait was set. Corbin and his small, hand-picked team didn't stake out the museum. That's what the Ghost would expect. Instead, Corbin focused all his surveillance on Julian Croft and his workshop. He had a hunch. The Ghost didn't physically steal the cars from the street. The thefts were too clean, too perfect. He suspected the vulnerability was introduced long before the car was even parked. For 3 nights, Nothing happened. The blade sat gleaming in the museum. On the fourth night, Corbin's patience paid off. His surveillance team picked up an unusual signal originating from Croft's workshop. It was a complex frequency, designed to communicate with a specific device. Corbin Cross referenced the signal with the specs of the blade security system. It was a match. Croft wasn't planning to break into the museum. He was planning to activate a hidden receiver he had installed in the car during its tune-up. This receiver would bypass all security and allow him to remotely start the car and drive it away. The plan was brilliant. Croft would have an accomplice, a driver, simply walk to the museum, and the car would unlock and start for them. The driver would then take it to a discreet location. No alarms, no forced entry. It would look like the car had vanished into thin air, just like all the others. Corbin knew he had to act fast. He didn't want to just stop the theft. He wanted to catch the ghost himself. He let Croft initiate the signal. As soon as the blade's engine roared to life inside the museum, Corbin's team swooped in. They didn't raid the museum. They raided Apex Performance. They found Julian Croft sitting in a high-tech command chair, surrounded by monitors, a controller in his hands, a triumphant smirk on his face. The smirk vanished when Corbin walked in. "Show's over. Julian," Corbin said quietly. Croft was stunned. He had been so careful, so meticulous. He never imagined someone would figure out his digital method. He wasn't just a mechanic. He was a master hacker who had turned his passion for cars into a high-stakes criminal enterprise. The key fobs of the cars he serviced were his entry point. He would clone their digital signature, then plant a tiny, dormant receiver deep within the car's electronics. Days or weeks later, from the comfort of his workshop, he could awaken the receiver and take complete control of the vehicle. With Croft's confession, the entire operation unraveled. He led the police to a series of hidden warehouses where every single stolen car was being stored, all in perfect condition. He wasn't selling them for parts. He was a collector, a man so obsessed with automotive perfection that he had to possess it, to hoard these beautiful machines for himself. The city of Viridia breathed a collective sigh of relief. The ghost was no longer a phantom but a man in handcuffs. The reign of terror was over. The mayor held a grand ceremony at City Hall, publicly honoring Detective Miles Corbin. He presented him with a key to the city, praising his brilliant mind and unwavering dedication. Corbin, ever the humble detective, simply nodded, accepted the award, and said, "Just doing my job." The city can rest easy now. He had faced the Phantom and unmasked him, restoring not just the stolen cars, but the city's peace of mind. As he left the ceremony, he blended back into the crowd, just another face in the city he had saved, already thinking about the next puzzle to solve. The story of the ghost became a legend of a different kind of cautionary tale about obsession and a testament to the fact that no mystery is unsolvable. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.